Hi everyone, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home. I've had to come in my dining room for today's project because my craft room is not big enough. What we're going to do is some t-shirts, but I'm going to do them a little bit differently. So I've done a few templates with the ScanNCut on Canvas Workspace. This is one of them. I don't know if you can see it well enough. I've already weeded it, excuse me, and put it onto transfer paper ready. And then we've got this one. And we're going to do something a little different with that. And then I'm just going to screen print one more. I don't know if you've noticed a common denominator. It's t-shirts I'm doing for a man because I'm doing them for my son. But obviously the way we're doing it you can do with anything you like. So a couple of the files I can't give you, but two of them you can get from craftshop.com, and that's the shape of this one. The words I put on myself, but the shape they do, it's Star Wars related. And this one you can get. The other one's from Etsy, so a long time ago as well, so I can't do anything about that one. I do apologise. But obviously you've got so many of your own that you can do. It's just the style that we're doing today rather than the actual SVG itself. So let's get cracking. So first of all, I've just got a normal black t-shirt. It's actually from Asda, which is what, Walmart in America, and I've put just some spare bits of card that I practice on. I've put them inside to protect it going through. So you want to make sure it's straight. We'll I'm going to do the yellow one first, this one. Seeing as it's one whole piece, I'm just going to peel it off and stick it on. I don't know if I'm being silly doing that. Normally I would use transfer just so that it all stays together in one piece, but oh, don't rip it. All I've used, I haven't used peel off, I've used self-adhesive papers because I'm using it as a stencil. Sorry, I'm just going to concentrate for a minute. Just going to let that one fall and then pick it up, and usually if you let it fall it will go into the place it's meant to go. I think that's right. I've tried to do it so the middle is in the middle of the neck. Now what I'm hoping for is like a galaxy effect, and I'm going to do it by spraying paints, but first of all I'm just going to tidy up the messy bits here, and then I'm going to sponge a bit of white around it before I start spraying. So we'll get on with that. I'll just tidy it up and I'll come back. Okay, so we'll take our time here, and I've just got a dry sponge, and all I want to do is go round and make it, I really want it very light. I'm still using fabric paints. The Indigo Blu paints are brilliant to use, but just for the bottom layer I am actually using the Screen Sensation White. It's the only one I would say is okay. I've got to be honest, I don't particularly like them. They are not great. But the white and the black seems to be very good as a standard, so I do use them. So all I just want to do is make it give it a kind of galaxy effect when it's done. I don't want too much, but at the same time, not enough can be bad as well. So just take your time, not like me where I'm rushing it. Go very lightly here. You want to make sure that you've got enough on the edges that there's clear defined lines when you take the stencil off. Okay, so then what we're going to do, I've got a spray, just a spray bottle. And I'm going to put some white in there first because I still want some of the spray of the white going through. So I'm not putting a lot in. See, I've only put a little bit in, but I mean, as to how much you put in is down to you, you know, water to paint ratio. I don't want it dark. I want it very pale, so I've put hardly any paint to water in. And then all I'm going to do, I'm hoping you can see, let me come out a little bit. All I'm going to do is just start spraying. I don't know if you're really getting the effect on there, but I'm pretty happy with this actually, I've got to say. But I want a bit of blue on there as well, because obviously you can see a kind of light blue, can't you, when you looking at a galaxy type picture, if you think about it. So I'm just going to get a light blue. So I've mixed the two blues and now it's a lot darker. I might put a bit more dark blue in. I'm just going to test it and see how it comes. Let's put a bit more dark because I want it to show quite well, this one. Probably shouldn't have mixed it, kept it really dark. So I've put some more in and just mixing it. And then just, there we go, that's a bit better, isn't it? I don't want too much, but personally I think it doesn't look like a galaxy unless it's got a bit of blue in. There we go. So I'm just going to put it to the side to dry and start work on the other one. That's like a marble type one. I want to do similar spraying, but a bit of colour in as well for certain points. So that's this one. I need to get it on the T-shirt. So that Craft Shop UK, he does a lot. They're all free as well, by the way. You don't pay, and he does quite a lot of Star Wars ones. So he does the logos, and he's got a Darth Vader and all sorts of things like that. I just particularly want these because these are the ones my son likes. So if I was you, you got someone that likes a particular theme, then you should try things like that first, because he does it all for free. You can donate, but they're very good. Okay, so I've got it on the transfer. Decide where I'm going to put it. And I think about there. Always judge it to the neckline, so I'm making sure that this finger here is in the middle of the neckline. I think that's the best way to do it. Now, getting off transfer sheets sometimes can be a nightmare. I'm going to use my roller that I use for ScanNCut to put paper on. I'm hoping that'll help. Okay, so it's starting to go. This is where you really have to be patient, especially like I've chosen one with so many little bits. I don't know what I thought I was doing. But Marvel is such a big thing at the minute, isn't it? And my son, I don't know. Both my sons are Marvel nerds. Again, I've used self-adhesive paper. Because I didn't really want to waste peel off, because it's so much more expensive. So you just very slowly peel it all back. If there's bits that stay on it, just help it. I've seen people do the bleach technique with this, but I didn't want to use bleach. You have to stick to particular colours with bleach, whatever colour the T-shirt bleaches into, so I decided I'd try it with the paint. So this is probably the worst bit, and the bit you need the patience for. I've got to be honest though, it's going a lot better than I thought it would. And remember, transfer sheets are reusable. Not the actual pattern itself, you normally have to throw that away. Okay, let me get this done. But you see now how you just keep going back over it, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm back and it's all ready to go. Actually, it would really look nice as a just HTV like that, wouldn't it? But this is only peel off, so I'm gonna sponge again, this time a bit heavier, because there's so many fine lines. I want to make sure it's all defined otherwise the picture's not going to make a lot of sense. So I am going to use a bit more than normal, and I'm just going to sponge through just so that it shows. So make sure you've got everywhere. Let's do a bit more just around the outside. It's not as dark, just coming out. I think that will be good. So what I was thinking was, seeing as it's marble here, that's kind of red, white and blue, isn't it? So I've already got the blue, I just need the red. There it is. So now this is where I definitely, so I'm using Indigo Blu Postbox Red. So the transfer sheet, just while I'm mixing that, I've put it back onto the paper it was on, it came on, because it's reusable. So, like I said before, I wouldn't waste throwing it away after one use. So, I want some red and blue in it to match the marble, and I'm going to do it in spray again because I kind of like that effect, but instead of the original one where I've done it fairly fine, I'm going to go a bit closer here because I don't want it as fine. Now a bit of blue. It's a strong wind today. Then I'm going to spray a bit more white because the white's disappeared now, and obviously the colours of just so that we don't lose the red, because it's kind of been hidden a bit. We'll go a bit higher this time. Okay, so it's just a different way of doing it, a kind of grungy way, I guess, but I do personally love it. I'm quite pleased with how it come out. I'm going to leave it to dry, and then I will peel it off and show you the reveal. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so I've revealed most of this. I'm just finishing it off. I thought I'd do the last bit where you could see me do it, and I'm literally just peeling it off. I would normally use my, oh, there they are. I couldn't find my tweezers, but it's literally just peeling it off. It's obviously not reusable. I let it dry for about, I think it was about half hour, 3/4 of an hour. It wasn't long. And now I'm just peeling everything off, and you can see using the self-adhesive paper keeps it close to the t-shirt so you don't get any leaks underneath it. And it's cheaper than using your vinyl because, let's face it, it's pretty pricey for especially a once use kind of thing. And all you're doing is literally just peeling it all off bit by bit. I have to say though, I'm quite happy with it. It seems to have worked out really good. I like the effect it's left. Just a nice sort of different effect. I like trying different things. I've done a stamping on video, stamping on t-shirts, if you want to take a look at that. And I'll leave a link to it at the end of the video. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, the other t-shirt, I decided I'm going to just use a screen and screen paint it. I don't use the Screen Sensation. I make my own screens for a start, and I don't use the Screen Sensation paints. I use the Indigo Blu acrylic paints because they are okay to use on fabric and they are a lot easier and they're nice and thick and they sit on the fabric, they don't sink into it. And they don't go off. Well, I've had mine a long time and they're still okay. They're nice to use and I'd much rather use them. Okay, I think I've got everything. So there's the first one, and that's just peeling off all the little bits bit by bit. Let's get the other one. Oh, one thing I have to check. I forgot to put a bit in between, a bit of card in between, but it looks alright actually, it hasn't gone onto the back. So that's the first one, which I'm really pleased with. And then the second one is just one straight peel off, and if it doesn't, I mean if it rips, it's okay, isn't it? But there you go. Now with this one, I think I wish I'd put a bit more colour on, but actually it's worked out alright in the end. I was worried that I hadn't put enough colour on, but yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that as well. So that's 2 t-shirts I've done using spray paint. After this I'm going to get a bit of greaseproof paper and put it in the heat press. If you haven't got a heat press, you can iron over the greaseproof paper. You need to iron for about 2 minutes to fuse it, and then it's washable. And that's the Indigo Blu paints as well. So if you have got a heat press, I'd say 15 to 20 seconds. That's all it's going to take. Yeah, that's it. That's my 2 t-shirts. Doing it a little differently. There's the other one. And I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, obviously you can add glittery paints and things if you're doing a girly one. Words, you obviously choose whatever you like. I hope you enjoyed that. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.